Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're celebrating Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all of you dads out there, all of you granddads out there, and all of you like me who may not be dads, but have wonderful memories of our dads and wonderful experiences. As I'm sitting here, just remembering my dad on Sunday mornings, making breakfast and putting food coloring into the grits and all kinds of flavorings. Every week it was a different color. So I invite you all to just go into your heart with beautiful memories of whatever being a dad and a granddad means to you. And that's what we're celebrating here today, and knowing that it's all the divine presence within us. Thank you.
If you will repeat after me. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and peace.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and peace.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and complete health.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and complete health.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and abundance.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and abundance.
And so it is.
And so it is.
This is Hawaiian for I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you. So that's just what the chant is going to say. And I think on this Father's Day we can extend this, as we always do, to ourselves, because we need that love and forgiveness. And I think also if there's any sort of father figure in our life that we need to extend that to, whether they are here or in another plane right now, I think that would also offer some healing. So whatever you need to use this for, please do.
your harmony beautiful. Thank you. I invite you to just settle down physically into your chair. Feel your feet grounded through the floor into the earth. Bring your awareness into your heart. Knowing that the divine presence is within us right here and right now. This presence is all, it is everything. It is the divine masculine, it is also the divine feminine, and it's all one. In manifestation in the world of form, it may look different, but in the realm of the divine, it is all universal presence, and it is us, right here and right now. There is only right here and right now. As we sit in this service today, we know that each one of us, being within that divine presence in our heart, are contributing to the beauty and the love and the community that is this service this morning. We know that as we stay in the heart, this is our point of connection with the divine and with each other, knowing that the divine and each other is one and the same. So we stay here this morning in love, in peace, in harmony, in oneness. And we express deep gratitude, profound appreciation for all that is. And in this we say, thank you, and so it is.
This reading is from 365 Songs of Mine, page 188. God does not withhold anything from me. All that is has been given fully unto me to enjoy. The life of God is perfect. It is eternal. It is the essence of all things. That life is God's gift to me. Therefore, this fullness is within me, ready to manifest through me as I partake of it. Since I am self-choosing, even though divinely endowed, I partake of my divinity only as I let it through. I am always, everywhere, in the midst of plenty. I know that I live in a changeless reality. I am not disturbed by the passage of time, the movement around me, nor the variations of experiences I go through. Something within me remains immovable and says, be still and know that I am God. I now consciously begin to draw upon the life that is mine. I now begin to re-educate myself definitely, by whatever steps I may, to a belief that there is given unto me a fullness of life that is divine in its origin, eternal in its presence, and always fully available. The life of the Father is my life. The infinite richness of the Father is mine to enjoy. The vital good health, the wisdom, the peace of the Father are mine. All things that proceed from him may be mine. I now claim them. The act of taking is my right and privilege. I exercise it now, intelligently and in full faith.
Thank you, Norman. So in your bulletin is the affirmation And if you will repeat after us.
I see my Father as the glorious
expression of God.
I see my Father as the glorious expression of God.
I and my Father are one.
I and my Father are one.
I am the divinity that my Father is.
I am the divinity that my Father is.
I am the divinity. I am the divinity that I am.
I am the divinity that I am.
And so it is.
So it is.
Okay, so whenever I do these Father's Day services with Paul, he requests that I sing this song by Daniel Naman, and it's called Kind Child. And I just think it's such a well-written song, and so I'm singing it, but know that this was written by him, and he's a father, a storyteller, and a singer-songwriter. There's just such a beautiful message in this song. Lately I've been thinking about what motivates me to give a couple dollars to a stranger on the street, to hold the door, carry groceries, help a neighbor in need. And history repeats itself in headlines every day. Solutions never big enough for problems that we face. As a man, as a dad, what difference can I make? 'Cause I know better than to think I'll be remembered for a favor or a quarter or a smile. Oh, but maybe before I return to sender, I can do one thing worthwhile. So I'm gonna try, I'm gonna try to raise a kind child. Sure would help if my boy went and got an MBA to take care of his artist mom and dad in their old age. But let's face it, Wall Street probably isn't in his DNA. But when his first grade teacher said she wanted us to know, it's Jude who always comforts any kid who sits alone. There's just so much pride my heart can take, my retirement can wait. 'Cause I know better than to think I'll be remembered for a fortune or a pension or a prize. Oh, but maybe before I return to sender, I'll have done one thing worthwhile. So I'm gonna try, I'm gonna try to raise a kind child. I don't want him to think the world is his to save. There's too much pressure, anyway it can't be done. I don't want him to think he has to be a saint, 'cause the truth is saints don't have any fun. Mostly I just hope my boy will come to understand. Sorry. It gets me every time, Paul. Okay, get it together. Whew. Mostly I just hope my boy will come to understand. No 401k or GPA can make a happy man. It's having roots, doing good, helping others when you can. So put down roots, do some good, and take somebody's hand. This is usually your thing, you got it. I'm so sorry, everybody. Then you'll know better than most what really matters. What makes living this life worthwhile? And there may come a day when your own kids will remember how their granddad used to say with a smile that he raised, that we raised a kind child. Thank you. Dang it, Paul. I mean, that's all we ever really want. You know, that's like our life goal, is to raise a kind child as a parent.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. That song gets me every time. I've never heard it where I didn't cry. And Neymar is amazing. If you ever get a chance to hear his music, it's absolutely wonderful. And if you want to come to the Anthem Conference, he's playing there. So happy Father's Day. We take this day to honor our fathers. And that may be tough for some of us. Christina was talking about her father, and she's got great memories of her father. And some of us may not have so great memories of our fathers. My dad was raised by an alcoholic mom and an enabling mother. And a father who was an attorney, who was immersed in his life as an attorney and couldn't get to his feelings. It wasn't a part of who he was. And I know that my grandfather and my father and I are all doing the best that we can in every moment. That sometimes we're amazing and sometimes we're not. We're not all one thing. And my dad, he was gone a lot. He did what his dad did. He immersed himself in his job. My dad was a commercial pilot, and he was brilliant at it. My brother once was flying with him in a 737, and he said, "Hey, Dad," they were landing, and he said to my dad, "Hey, Dad, grease it in." And my brother was kind of like, I'm going to tweak my dad. And my dad looked at him and kind of smiled and sat up in the chair and kind of positioned himself. And he landed that plane without a bump. It was perfect. And he turned around at my brother and smiled. But he knew what he was doing. He and that plane were one. He had it down. And he did it very well. And he studied hard to do what he was doing. But it took him away from us a lot. He'd be gone for like 2 months. And he'd come home for a little while, and he'd be gone for a couple more months. So I didn't get an opportunity to spend a lot of time with my dad, but unfortunately the time that we did spend, all of us kids were dancing around because my dad was a yeller. And you never knew when the yeller was going to come out. And you were like, oh, everything's great, and then you stepped on a landmine and boom! So you were always tiptoeing. You were always watching. My brothers and sisters are 7, 8, and 9 years older than I was. And they tried to warn me. Things had happened, and they go, don't tell Dad. Don't let him come home. Let him decompress, and then tell him. And sure enough, I walk, Dad, so-and-so, so-and-so. And he didn't know how to express his love. He loved me. I knew it to the bottom of my heart. I knew my dad loved me. But he couldn't express it. And he's still an individualized expression of God. He did the best he could in any given moment. And given his past, it was understandable. A brilliant friend of mine, Reverend Christina Lair, said we were in a practitioner class. And she brought up this idea, this concept, the Buddhist concept of interdependent co-arising. And she explained it. I'm probably going to mess this up, but this is what I got from it. But she explained it as, she started with a tree and said, look at a tree. That tree didn't just poof, end up there. Nothing happens in a vacuum. She said, in the ground, there's the worms and the insects and the microbes and the biome, the earthly biome that works together to fertilize the ground, the decay from the leaves and the things around it, to fertilize the ground to get ready for that tree. And then the seed drops in. And then all of that works on it, and it grows, and the rain helps it, and the sunshine helps it, and the tree grows, and it gives off oxygen and takes in carbon dioxide. And it took all of that, all of the codependence, to bring that tree to fruition. And the sun didn't do what the rain does. It can't do that. The rain doesn't do what the sun does. The worms and the insects aren't watering the tree. They all have interdependent components that allow that tree to grow. And it's the same with us. I see that as oneness. That we're all in this together. You've heard the term, it takes a village. My dad may not have given me the things that I needed to have a great relationship with my children and open up and be, as you know me, I wear my heart on my sleeve. But God gave me something that He didn't give my brothers and sisters. When we were in Tehran, Iran for about three and a half years. And in that time, I was like 2.5 to 5, 5.5, something like that. And in that time, we had a nanny, and her name was Shamameh. And my brothers and sister told me that she adored me. That she held me and hugged me and nurtured me, played with me, and was with me all the time. And my brothers and sister didn't have that, because they weren't getting that from my parents. I was lucky in that regard. So I was able, in those formative years, to open and love and cherish and get the things from Shamameh that I couldn't get from my parents. Interdependent co-arising. There's always someone in our lives that fill a different need. Our Father, it's not our Father's job, and it's not our job as a father to be everything for our kids. We do the best we can in any given moment. We have to recognize that about our fathers and about ourselves. We're doing the best we can. And sometimes, some of us are brilliant, and sometimes some of us aren't. And yet we're still individualized expressions of the divine. The divine never stopped loving my dad. Never. Never stops loving me. Never stops loving the most hated of us. The love of the divine is in all of us. And it's up to us to recognize it and bring it out. In the reading, I and my Father are one. The whole reading was talking about us connecting with the Father, the divine, the infinite intelligence and wisdom in the world. That's our source. Not our fathers, not our mothers, not our best friends, not our partners or spouses. God is our source of well-being. So, I was able to, I've been thinking about this. That's the nice thing about doing the talk, is that you get to reflect and go inside. And I realized that how many wonderful things that I did get from my dad. My dad, he was a brilliant storyteller. And all of us kids got that. Tell a story like nobody's business. But I also got to see him respect people. I got to see him always shaking hands and connecting with people. Whenever I was with my dad at the airport, or when I flew with my dad, everybody said, "We love your dad. Your dad is great." And he was. One of my favorite memories of my dad is I was living in Dallas, and he'd moved up to Washington State. He came back. He called me and said, "Hey, I'm coming down for a week. I want to see you and see some other people and stuff." I said, "Great." So, and I warned him. I said, "I'm living with 3 other people in the house, 2 women and another man. So that's where you're staying, Dad." And he goes, "All right." But there was a night that it was his birthday, and I wanted to treat him to a dinner. And I worked at the bar, at the restaurant, and I was behind the bar, and he came in, and I introduced him to some people at the bar. And I said, "I'll be back, Dad. I gotta go upstairs and do my checkout." So I went upstairs, and I came down, and my dad's sitting there, and there's about 10 people listening to him, and he's telling a story. And he's got these 10 people in the palm of his hand, and they are listening to every single word. And that was my dad. And I learned how to do that. I learned how to do that. That's one of the many things that I got from my dad. I had to step back, and I had to see it from back here, but I gained from my dad. And the most important thing I gained from my dad is I recognized what I didn't want to do with my kids. I said, relatively, like in my 20s, I can remember thinking, I want to have a great relationship with my kids. That was important to me. And I always worked on it. I work on it today. My daughter just, if you know me, you know this. My daughter was just teaching me and has taught me about boundaries. Up until recently, I had no boundaries. None. It wasn't taught me. And it took some work on both of our parts. But she spoke, I listened, she spoke. I spoke, she listened, back and forth. And I'm a better person for it. And it was always important to me. I played with my kids. I went to their sports. I had a blast with my kids. In the beginning, I modeled my dad. I was a yeller too. And I yelled at my kids all the time. And I went to a workshop, and I kept that commitment of being the best dad I could. That I wanted to be a great dad. And I was in a workshop called the Forum, and I recognized in the Forum that I was yelling at my kids. And it was to their detriment. And I finally, I recognized it one day, and I went in the mornings. I took the kids to daycare before school. And Jacqueline inevitably was forgetting something. And so I had to get them to there and then get to work on time. So every morning, poor little thing, she would go, "Dad, I forgot, ... Oh, Jacqueline, I told you to bring everything in here. And we go back to the house and come back and I meet up for work. And I finally recognized the toll that it was taking on Jacqueline. And in the forum, I was able to go, oh, I brought it from back here and turned it around and went and looked at it. So I went to her school. I took lunch and went to her school, and she saw me. She goes, Dad, and ran over to me. And I said, hey, sweetie. And she's going, Dad. And I said, hold on for a second, sweetie, hold on. I said, I want to apologize to you for yelling at me. And I'm going to try and not do that anymore. Because I love you. And I don't want to yell at you, and I don't want to shut you down. And she turned to me, she looked at me, she goes, Dad, look at this, and look at this, and look at this, and look at this, and look at this. She knew she wasn't sitting there going, yeah, Dad. Yeah, you did that. She was so happy to see me. She wanted to show me around her place. The realization was for me, not for her. And I've carried that and worked on that and worked on my relationship with my kids. And I've got a fabulous relationship with my kids. My kids love me and I love my kids. And it's something I work on every single day. And now I got 2 grandkids. And they invite me over to spend time with them and my grandkids. They make time for me to be with my grandkids. And it's fabulous. Interdependent co-arising. I wouldn't be where I am with all of the people, all of the connections, the divine knowingness that is right here, right where you are. That's our source. That's where we find our love. The divine brings people into our lives left and right that bring us different things that we need. And that may be somebody we're butting heads with. That's growth also. It's not just the people we love, it's the people that we're... It's all interdependent co-arising. Look for the good. Look for the divinity in everyone. Look for the divinity in our fathers. It's there. Which story are you going to tell? Because I could tell the story my father was unemotional and distant and never around, or I could tell the story of my father that everybody loved. He was a master storyteller. That he taught me to be kind to people. He taught me to shake hands, to be respectful of people. And I can tell either story. I like that one. I like the other story. So we can we've got choice. We can choose to see the divinity and the magnificence in our fathers, or not to. Which is going to make you feel better? Which is going to lift you up? Which is going to have you see the divinity in our fathers, in your father, in yourself? Remember us as fathers. We're doing the best we can in any given moment. And the divine is right there, guiding us, loving us, supporting us always. So I want to take a minute. Everybody close your eyes. Everyone take a nice deep breath. Breathing in the breath of God. Feeling that presence of the divine. Letting go of everything that is not of the divine. Relax into it. Feel that unconditional love. Now I want you to bring up in your mind's eye your Father. I want you to see and feel the divinity in your Father. I want you to recognize the love that is there. want us all to shower right now our fathers with that divine love. See little red hearts showering upon them. Feel that connection with our fathers. Feel that love. Express that love. Shower them with that love. Now I want you to see ourselves in our mind's eye, all of us, and shower ourselves with love. Feel that divine love, that peace. Feel that divinity. Know that it's yours by divine right. Happy Father's Day.
I'm going to take Gio's mic down to here. Just a little bit. Thank you, Paul. All right, we're going to sing I Release. Whatever that story is that you need to release, and whichever one you choose, step into the one that you choose and release the one that is no longer serving. There was a time in my life thought I had to do it all by myself. Didn't know the love of God is sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say if you're feeling discouraged, struggle doesn't make it through another day. You just gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I am only here for God.
Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Gio. So, beautiful talk, beautiful sharing from Reverend Paul this morning. And I know we can all relate in our relationships with whoever. Maybe our dad, maybe our mom, maybe somebody else in our life. But what he was really talking about was, the undercurrent of love that flows through all. And when we can see that, And when we can know that and feel that, that's when we open ourselves up to the divine. And when we do that, we're in a place of giving and we're in a place of receiving. And there's that divine flow of movement and of wonder and of life. So I invite all of you this morning to really be in that place of the flow of life and the giving and the receiving. So as we pass our financial abundance basket this morning, I invite you to just know that every little thought we think, every little action that we take is a part of the interdependent co-arising, also known as interbeing, that we all are. Everything in the universe, everything in the manifest world influences everything else, even the smallest, tiniest little thought or feeling, as Ginger sang earlier this morning about feelings. So I invite you to open up your hearts. Thank you.
So if you'll follow with me the blessing of our offering that's found in the bulletin. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and give it to thee in gratitude and joy, knowing that as I give, I do receive.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We are so blessed and we are so grateful for all of these gifts and these tithes, heartfelt contributions to this wonderful community that each and every one of us is, being together here with each other. Please join me in saying thank you, and so it is.
Thank you, and so it is.
Thank you.
So this is just a really wonderful opportunity in the service. When I first heard this blessing for me, I was home. So what I'd like to do is have everybody who is here for the first time stand up and stay standing. Perfect, thank you. Now, I want you guys to just receive this blessing. All of us are going to do this blessing and wash it over you, okay? So if everybody will repeat after me. Welcome to the Center for Conscious Living.
Welcome to the Center for Conscious Living.
We are a heart-centered spiritual community.
We are a heart-centered spiritual community.
We open ourselves to you in love.
We open ourselves to you in love.
We recognize the perfection of God within you.
We recognize the perfection of God within you.
We celebrate the joyous being that you are.
We celebrate the joyous being that you are.
You are a radiant point of light.
You are a radiant point of light.
We are blessed by your presence.
We are blessed by your presence.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
This is the part of the service where I get to express my specific gratitude to individuals who set this sacred space for us this morning and are holding it right here and right now. And we've got Kay in the back there, sitting by the door, who set this beautiful altar this morning and has been just nurturing us with love. Bob, where are you, Bob? Yeah, Bob. He's here every Sunday setting up the space, and Jane along with him. Jane always likes to pop into the kitchen, but she holds us in love. And Paula was here early this morning setting up refreshments and making sure that we had all the things that we needed. And we were missing a couple of things, so Chris stepped up and joined our refreshment team and an ad hoc member this morning and ran out to ShopRite or wherever and grabbed us some coffee. So thank you, both of you, our media team, Keith in the back on camera, and Marty over here, and Wayne also on our Zoom, really making sure that our Zoom community is nurtured and loved and part of us. And pastoral support over here, Lauren, moderating the Zoom. Thank you, Lauren. And our newest member of the team as well, of course, Jonah, was really demonstrating what it's like to be a kind child. So thank you, Jonah. Ginger, of course, her beautiful music. Ginger always brings heart and soul into her music, and I really want to say a few words about Ginger because I've known Ginger since I was assisting in foundations class, so that's about 10 or 11 years ago. So she was in that class, and she was expressing her beautiful music even then and bringing her spirituality into it. Now she's in practitioner training, and I watch her just flower and blossom because she's bringing her deeper understanding of spirituality into her music and expressing it in new and different ways too. And it's just a beautiful thing for me personally to witness. And I see her nurturing her children in the same way. So thank you, Ginger. We love you. And Reverend Paul, of course, thank you for your heartfelt sharing this morning and connecting your personal experiences to deeper spiritual principles of how we live our life and how we can live in gratitude and love. So thank you. Did I miss anyone? I hope I got everyone. Okay, good. Well, from memory, I forgot to write it down before service. Okay, so quickly we'll go through, as many of you know, we have a special retreat at the end of this month, the 28th through the 30th, and a personal teacher of mine, Helen Hamilton, is coming here from the United Kingdom to really give us a retreat. And she, she's a person, like an everyday person. She's a mother of 4, and she went through a lot of trials and tribulations in her own life, and really taught herself through many practices, spiritual practices and experiences, how to live a life, what the Buddhists call without suffering. Or what Jesus called being in this world, but not of it. So she's a regular person in her daily life, but she's really learned how to traverse suffering. So she lives in a place of joy, and she's developed a very simple way to do that through meditation. And if you've never been able to meditate before, I invite you to come to this retreat or part of it, because I learned how to incorporate meditation into my daily practice in a very simple way, just by being in Helen's presence. She also works with connecting with our emotions and releasing them so that we can know the truth of our being, and she has a very simple process for that. So, her message is simplicity in our spiritual practices. So I invite you to check our newsletter or go to our website, and you can learn more about that retreat and how to sign up for it. And we have 2 more special events coming in July. I'm really thrilled to tell you about Reverend Roby Chavance. I've been on the phone with her several times, and she is a very bright light, and she's also a lot of fun. She has a lot of personality, and she will be here the 3rd weekend in July. The exact dates are, where are they? I think it's the 21st. Here we go. July 19th to the 21st. So she'll be here Friday night, the 19th, and then she'll do a Sunday afternoon workshop on the 21st, and she'll also be here for Sunday service. And on the Saturday and the Monday, she'll be doing private healing sessions. She's an energy healer. She's also a psychic, and she's just a wonderful being. So I invite you to check our newsletter again. There's a registration link for those events. And next week we'll have more information about how you can sign up for private sessions on the Saturday and the Monday. Another event, Kathy Milano is hosting a weekend with 3 shamans who are coming from Peru, and they're doing a weekend intensive, and there's a 3-day event, and there's also a 5-day event if you want to go deeper into an immersive experience with the shamans. And CCL is part of that because we are hosting the shamans here on the last Sunday in July. I believe that is the 28th. Yes, it is the 28th. So I invite you to be here at Sunday service on the 28th, and if you would like to know more about how you can sign up for that event with the shamans the entire weekend, you can check our newsletter. And also, I don't know if it's on our website, it's definitely in our newsletter though. And that will be a really enriching experience. Also, Mini Monday is coming up, the first Monday in July. And Elizabeth Nauer, many of you know her as a practitioner here at CCL. And she has been a practitioner not only of religious science, but also of nonviolent communication, which is a very deep spiritual practice, but also a practice of being in the world in a way that expresses love in all of our communications. So, and it's a way to really engender cooperation and peace among different parties that are trying to bring peace in the world and accomplish great things. So I invite you to check your newsletter again for the link to how you attend that. It's a love donation offering. It's on Zoom, and it's also an in-person event, and it's an hour and a half from 7 to 8:30. So it's just a small bit of time, but I think you'll really like it. You can check your calendar for upcoming events. We have men's group tomorrow night. What else do we have here? Next week, our beloved Reverend Ann Blanchard will be here giving the talk. So I invite you to be here. She's a very deeply spiritual being and also is loaded with personality. So that will be a fun day. Course in Miracles on the 24th with Reverend Ken. And just a reminder that the weekend retreat with Helen Hamilton, she will be here on that Sunday giving our talk. So if you're not able to be at the retreat, you can come to service on that Sunday, the 30th, and she will talk to us about how to live in peace. Okay, thank you. Circle up.
Circle up.
It's not gonna get sick. the circle in closer, bring the circle in closer, circle up, we can do it. Hey. All right, we're gonna do this snazzy like Paul likes it, a little jazzy, so get your swing on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be. With God as our power, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Knowing that peace on earth begins with peace in our heart. Knowing that peace in our heart radiates out from our being to all beings in the universe. That concept of interdependent co-arising, of interbeing. We are one. And as we move forth into our lives this afternoon with our families and our friends, and into our week, we remember this truth of who we are. That we are this heart-centered spiritual being, and we are love. And as we see it in ourselves, we know it in each other as well. And with that, we say, thank you, God, and so with this.
I do want to take a quick moment and thank my niece, Kristen, for being here. If you know my sister, Carol, this is her daughter. I want to thank you for being here, and I love you. So, here we go. Are we ready?
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yes.
If you will repeat after me, something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my feelings.
Life is in my feelings.
Life is in all my activities.
Life is in all my activities.
I receive it.
I receive it.
I share it.
I share it.
I am it.
I am it.
And I accept it.
And I accept it.
How?
Just the way it is.
Thank you, life. In accepting all these wonderful gifts, we say,